Here are the results to the Deadball era tournament thus far. Welcome to Game 12 of the Deadball Era Division Tournament. The 1917 Chicago White Sox against the 1906 Chicago Cubs. Here are the principal players of today's game. Joe Jackson, White Sox. Eddie Cicotte, Nemo Lebo, Fred McMullen, Swede Risberg, Chick Gandil, Buck Weaver, Eddie Collins. Chicago's starting lineup goes as follows. Eddie Collins at second base will lead off. Swede Risberg at shortstop. Joe Jackson will be playing left field. Happy Felson center field. Buck Weaver at third base. Chick Gandil first base. Nemo Lebold in right field. Ray Chalk the catcher. And Claude Lefty Williams, grade B, Y modifier, pitching. And your stars of the Chicago Cubs. Joe Tinker, Three Finger Brown, Johnny Evers, Jimmy Sheckard, Frank Wildfire Schulte, Mordecai Brown, another Tinker, player manager Frank Chance, another Evers, Orvie Overall, Jack Pfister. And my favorite Cub is the catcher, Johnny Kling. Here are the Cubs starting lineup. Johnny Evers will lead off and play second base. Jack Kling will catch. Frank Chance, the first baseman. Harry Steinfeld in the third base position. Frank Wildfire Schulte in right field. Jimmy Sheckard in center field. Jim Slagle in left field, Joe Tinker at shortstop, and Jack Taylor, grade A with a R modifier, on the mound. We're ready for the first pitch. This is hold on a minute. This is an elimination game. Each team is 1-1 in this double elimination tournament. We're going to use basic Apba, except for we have the master symbols for stealing, and so we'll use those rules for stealing. Okay, Jack Taylor is ready for this all-Chicago battle, and Eddie Collins steps in the box. Here's the first roll of the game. 32 is a 26. That's going to be a ground out to second base, Johnny Evers, and Collins is retired 4-3. Swede Risberg, the shortstop. 34 is a fly ball to the center fielder, Jimmy Sheckard. I don't know if that's Sheckard or Sheckard, 2 away. And here is the star of the White Sox, Sheila's Joe Jackson. 52, that's a ground ball to third base, and he will be retired by Harry Steinfeld. The White Sox go down 1-2-3 in the first. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first. Both teams are fielding column 1, and here is Johnny Evers facing Lefty Williams. 61 is the first roll. That's going to be a ball. Johnny Evers, sometimes known as a human crab, 1-5, is going to be an 11. It's a single, and he will have a chance to steal. That brings the bat Johnny Kling. Evers is a 26, but with Williams moved to first is a +2 favoring him, so it'd be chances to be safe would be 11 through 46. They're going to hit and run. Here's the pitch to Johnny Kling. 54 is going to be a 32 on the hit and run chart. That's going to be a fly out the right field, and Evers will trot back to first base. They have to try to steal the base outright. Frank Chance is the batter. There goes Evers. 44 is just barely safe. And that's a stolen base for Johnny Evers. He'll be in scoring position for player manager Frank Chance. Chance is a .319 hitter in 1906, known as the Peerless Leader. Here's the pitch. 34 is a 31 that's going to be a fly out to center field. Caught by Happy Felsch, and there's 2 away. It'll be up to Harry Steinfeld to make something of this threat. Pitch to Steinfeld to 1-5. That's going to be an 11, and that is against a grade B pitcher. A single to left field, and the runner is a fast runner, Evers. So he will score, and the Cubs are on top, 1-0. Steinfeld had a RBI in the last game and a triple run score in the first game. Here's the pitch to Frank Schulte. 31 is the roll. That's going to be an 8 against grade B, and that is a ground out to the third baseman, Buck Weaver, 5-3. But the Cubs get on the board. They lead 1-0 as we go to the top of the second inning. Happy Felsch will lead off for the White Sox. His greatest season was 1920, where he hit .338 with 14 home runs. Pitch from Taylor, 33, is going to be a base hit for Felsch. Fast runner at first. D26 on stealing. Taylor's moved to first is 0, and Kling's throwing arm is +3 favoring him. He's going to hold. Here's the pitch to Buck Weaver. 22 is the roll. That's another single, I believe. Nope, it's not, because he's the delayed pitcher. And that's going to be a ground out to third base, 5-3, with Felsch scoring the second. Chick Gandil. 1 out, runner in scoring position. There's the pitch to Gandil. 1-3 is a 22. Fielding column 1 means the runner can steal third. I'll go ahead and accept that result. Runner steals third. S runner holds at second. He is a fast runner, so Happy Felsch is safe at third. Infield play in for the Cubs. There's the pitch to Gandil. 31 is a 9. Fly out to center field. That is caught by Jimmy Chicard, but it is plenty deep for the run to score, and the game is tied 1-1. That brings the back Tiny Nemo LeBold, 5'7". Here's the pitch to LeBold. 46 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. We go to the bottom of the second, score tied 1-1. Jimmy Sheckler will lead off for the Cubs in the bottom of the second. He's in his 11th Major League season. First with the Cubs. Here's the pitch to Chicard. 1-6 is a ground ball to the shortstop, Sweet Risberg, over to Gandil. 1 away. Jimmy Slagle. 34 is a fly out to the center fielder, Happy Felsch. And now Joe Tinker, the shortstop. 56 is a pop out two, and it's got a Y modifier, so it's not a pop out. It is a strikeout. First strikeout for Lefty Williams. We go to the top of the third, 1-1. There's the catcher, Ray Schalk. 63 as they fly out to the center fielder, Jimmy Sheckard, and there's one down. Pitcher, Lefty Williams. 25 is a walk. So Jack Taylor walks the pitcher. Slow runner. Cubs will play it safe. Top of the order, and Eddie Collins grounded out to second base his first time up. Here's the pitch to Collins. 25 is an 11. That's going to be a single over first. The runner will go to third. And that will bring to bat Swede Risberg. Okay, sorry for bumping the camera. And we have Eddie Collins is a C30 on stealing. And Kling is a minus. We'll take 3 off that 30, so it'll be 11 through 53 is his chances. There goes Collins. 65, he is thrown out by Johnny Kling. 2-4, and there are 2 outs. Now the pitch to Risberg. 22 is a 8 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a single over second base. Driving in Lefty Williams and puts the White Sox on top 2-1. Shoeless Joe Jackson. 35 is a 9 against an A. That's going to be a single and an infield hit for Jackson, and he is 1 for 2. We got White Sox on first and second with 2 outs. For Happy Felsch. Single and stole the base his first time up. There's the pitch. 1-2 is a ground ball to second base. Johnny Evers throws to first. 3 away, but the White Sox score again. It's 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. The pitcher, Jack Taylor, leads off for the Cubs. He was a decent hitting pitcher, 63, but is a strikeout this time. 1 away. Back to the top. Johnny Evers. That's a pop out to the catcher, Ray Schalk. Johnny Kling. 16 is a ground out to the shortstop, 6-3. We go to the top of the 4th inning, Chicago 2, White Sox 2, and the other Chicago Cubs 1. Buck Weaver will lead off the top of the 4th for the White Sox. Early in his career, he had an unflattering Era Day Weaver nickname, but he worked hard to improve his defense, and by 1917, I think he led the league in fielding, and then in 1920, he hit .331, so he is a good defensive player, good offensive player. Here's the pitch to Weaver. 1-3 is a base on balls, and he'll be on first for Chick Gandil. D27 stealing. So it'll be 24 will be his chances, and it is 11 through 46. There he goes. And he will be thrown out. So Johnny Kling is sending a message here. Maybe they want to slow down. Next pitch to Gandil is a 64. That's a 41. That's going to be an error on the shortstop, Joe Tinker. Gandil's E27 and stealing. Nemo labeled is the batter. 42 is the roll. 14 is a base on balls. First and second, one out for Ray Schock. .34 is a fly ball to center field, caught by the center fielder Jimmy Sheckard. 2 down, and that brings up the pitcher, Lefty Williams. .46 is a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 White Sox. Player manager Frank Chance leads off for Chicago in the bottom of the fourth. He also managed the New York Yankees at one time, I think 1923, and went managing the PCL Los Angeles team. Here's the pitch to Frank Chance. 53 is an 18 on fielding column 1. That's a ground out to the shortstop, Sweet Risberg. 1 down, Harry Steinfeld. .55 is a base hit for Steinfeld. He is 2 for 2. D29 stealing. Frank Schulte. Okay, the Cubs will hit and run. 33, that's a hit column roll. 63 is going to be a double, and that will score Steinfeld. RBI for Schulte, and the score is tied 2-2. Jimmy Sheckard comes to bat. He's 2 for 7 in the tournament. There's the pitch. 26 is a strikeout. 2 away. Jimmy Slagle. Timeout. 62 is the roll. That's a 29. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman. Pitcher covering. 3 outs. We go to the top of the fifth. Score is tied 2-2. Eddie Collins will lead off for the White Sox in the top of the fifth inning. Here's 54 is the roll. That's going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Frank Wildfire Schulte. 1 away. Sweet Risberg. 42 is a 22. Fielding column 1. It's the ground out to the first baseman, Frank Chance. Over to the pitcher. 2 down. And Joe Jackson. 26 is the roll, and 27 is the play result. That's going to be a ground out to third base. 5-3. We go to the bottom of the fifth, tied 2-2. Cubs in the fifth have Tinker, Taylor, and Evers. Here's the pitch to the shortstop, Joe Tinker. 31 is a 9 against the grade B pitcher. That's a base hit. Tinker with his first hit today. He is a B26 stealing. Lefty Williams moved the first, takes him down to B24. We could bunt him in the second, or we could steal. 11 through 46. Let me give it a shot. Here he goes. And he is safe. 22 is going to be an error, I think, also, if he's a fielding column 9. No, it has to be a 1-1 to be an error, so it's not an error, but he is safe on the stolen base. Runner on second, Taylor will sacrifice, try to get him to third. 42 is a 13. That's going to be foul strike 1. Now 63 is a foul strike 2. And he's going to still try to sacrifice. 62 is a 23. And that is a balk. on the pitcher, Lefty Williams, sends Tinker to third. Taylor will swing away now. Got 2 strikes on him. 33 is a 7. That's going to be a single to the left. Tinker scores, and the Cubs take a 3-2 lead. Johnny Evers. I think the pitcher is a slow runner. Nope, he's average. 34 is fly out to center field. First out. Evers is 1 for 3. Here is Johnny Kling. He's had a good day throwing out base runners. He's 0 for 2 at the plate, though. Here's the pitch. 56 is a fly out to the right fielder, Mimo Labold. Frank Chance with 2 outs. 51 is an 11. That's a single. The runner goes to third. And Chance is at first with 2 away. He's not going to try and steal. You don't want to make the third out on the bases. Harry Steinfeld's the batter. .53 is a 18 feeling column 1, hit by pitch. Steinfeld's been on base all 3 times. Cubs have him loaded, and Lefty Williams is in big trouble. He'll be facing Frank Wildfire Schulte, 281 hitter. He doubled his last time up. Can Frank Schulte put a key in the merry-go-round? There's the pitch. 51's the roll. That's an 8. It's going to be a fly out to center field, and that'll end the inning. But the Cubs score 1 to take a 3-2 lead. Go to the top of the 6th. White Sox center fielder Happy Felsch leads off. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field caught by Jimmy Slago, 1 away. Taylor has retired his last 7 batters in a row. Here is Buck Weaver, the third baseman. Weaver is 0 for 1 with a walk. 23 is a ground ball to third base. Harry Steinfeld is up with it over to Frank Chance, 2 away. The first baseman, Chick Handel. 52 is a ground out to the third baseman, 5-3. As well, we go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Cubs. Jimmy Sheckard leads off for Chicago Cubs. 52 is a ground out to Buck Weaver at third base, 5-3. 1 away, Jimmy Slagle. 51's a 9 against a B pitcher. That's a base hit for Jimmy Slagle. That's the Cubs' 8th hit of the game. They have all been singles except for 1 double. Here is Joe Tinker. 46 is the roll. That's a swing and miss for strike 3. And now the pitcher, Jack Taylor, comes up with 2 outs. .64 is a 36. That's going to be a wild pitch. The runner will go to second. And there's 1 ball on the batter. 65 is a foul out to the catcher. We go to the top of the 7th, 3-2 Cubs. This game is a tight one on West Side grounds in Chicago. There were a couple of West Side parks. The other one was a couple blocks away and older. There was a period in the Cubs' history where they actually played at both stadiums, one on weekdays and the other on weekends. But I think by 1906, they may have been playing all their games at this West Side grounds. This West Side grounds went till 1940 and hosted the Chicago American Giants until 1940. Cubs moving to Wrigley Field, which was built for the Whales. after the folding of the Federal League. Nemo Liberal leads off for the White Sox, top of the 763. That's a fly ball to Jimmy Chicard in center field, one away. Here is Ray Schock, possibly the best defensive player of his era. He played all over the field, got recorded putouts at every base, and made it to the Hall of Fame. Here's the pitch to Schock. 62 is a ground out to the second baseman, Johnny Evers. 2 down. Here is Lefty Williams. Cubs are down to their last 7 outs. Timeout. White Sox will call upon a pinch hitter for Lefty Williams. He is Johnny Eddie Murphy. Pitch to Murphy, 23, is going to be a ground out to the third baseman, Hep Seinfeld. Over to Frank Chance, 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Chicago Cubs. New pitcher for the Cubs is Jim Death Valley. I love this nickname, Jim Death Valley Jim Scott. Grade A pitcher, no modifiers. He'll be facing Johnny Evers, who's 1 for 3 in the game today. 23 as a roll. That is a pop out to the second baseman, Eddie Collins. 1 away, and Johnny Kling. .44 is a base hit for Johnny Kling. He is 1 for 4. Average speed at first, but C25 on steals. Frank Chance is a batter. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field, caught by Joe Jackson. 2 away. Harry Steinfeld. 41 is a ground out to the shortstop. It goes the short way to second base. 3 away. We go to the top of the 8th. Cubs 3, White Sox 2. Chicago White Sox are down now to the last 6 outs. Fortunately, they can call on Eddie Collins to lead off this inning. .333 lifetime hitter with 743 career steals. 45 is going to be a base on balls, and Eddie Collins is on base, representing the tying run for the White Sox. Does he try to steal again in scoring position? Johnny Kling has had 2 steals tried against him, and he gunned them both down. Sweet Risberg's the batter. I think, though, the White Sox will hit and run and start the runner. Here's the pitch. Risberg is at 31 is a roll. That's a 14. And that's going to be a strike. But if he's got 11 on his card, and he does, he is going to be safe at second base. So strike 1 on Risberg, still nobody out. And Collins is successful with the stolen base. Okay, should we bunt him to third and give Joe Jackson a chance to drive him in with a fly ball? I think with no outs, we're going to give that a shot. Here's the bunt. 34 is a 31. And that's going to be out at first. 5-4. Sacrifice is good. And Eddie Collins, the tying run, is 90 feet away with 1 out, and Hall of Famer Joe Jackson coming to bat. The Cubs will play the infield in. Felsch and Weaver behind him aren't bad. So Taylor is going to pitch to Jackson. Here's the pitch. Infield playing in. 23 is the roll. That's a 12. And that is going to be a fly out to right field. The runner's going to tag. Here's the throw home. He is out at home. It is a double play, 9-2. The runner is retired by Wildfire Frank Schulte, and that's the end of the top of the 8th. Still scores Cubs 3, White Sox 2. So Frank Wildfire Schulte may have just completed the defensive play of the tournament for the 06 Cubs, throwing out Eddie Collins at the plate, trying to tag up and score on shoeless Joe Jackson's fly ball. And he will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. 33 is a 33, that is a pop out to second base. One away. Jimmy Sheckard. 32 is a ground ball to the second baseman. Eddie Collins goes over to Chick Gandil. There are 2 away. Here is Jimmy Slagle. 56 is a pop out to the shortstop, Swede Risberg. We go to the 9th. The Cubs are 3 outs away from eliminating crosstown rival White Sox, 3-2. All right, complete game. Jack Taylor has informed his manager, Frank Chance, he is not coming out of this one. He has allowed only 3 hits and 4 walks. And 2 runs he'll have to face Felsch, Weaver, and Gandil here in the top of the 9th inning. Here's the first pitch to Happy Felsch. 51 is an 8 against a grade A pitcher. That's going to be a high pop-up to the third baseman, Hap Steinfeld. He makes the catch. 1 away. Cubs are 2 outs away from eliminating their rivals. Buck Weaver, 25 is the roll. That's going to be a base hit to center fielder. Buck Weaver is on. He has a tying run at first base. If he wants to steal, he's got 11 through 46 chance. This is why I love baseball. You do have to make some decisions here. Batter is Chuck Gandil, 273 hitter. There's 1 out. Here he goes. He's going to try and steal. 32, he is safe at second base and is in scoring position for the White Sox. Gandil is 0 for 2. He has a sacrifice, an RBI, and has reached base with a error on the shortstop back in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Chick Gandil. 35 is a roll. That is a 9 against an A with a runner at second. That is a ground out to the shortstop. That'll be Tinker over to Chance. Runner goes to third. There are 2 outs. And the White Sox do send up Nemo Labold. He's 1 for 8 in the tournament. He has an RBI and a run scored and a stolen base, but there's nobody on the bench higher than 236 now. And so it's going to be up to Labold. Here's the line and pitch from Jack Taylor. Rolls a 1-4. That's a fly ball to left field. Jimmy Slagle is under it. He makes the catch, and the White Sox are eliminated. The final score of the Chicago Cubs 3, the Chicago White Sox 2. We'll be back with a wrap-up. Okay, we had a very exciting ball game today at Westside Park in Chicago. The White Sox scored 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. The Cubs scored 3 runs on 8 hits, and they committed 1 error. The winning pitcher was Jack Taylor. 9 innings with 2 earned runs surrendered, 4 hits, a strikeout, and 4 walks. The losing pitcher was Claude Lefty Williams. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. He did hit 1 batter. The stars of the game were Johnny Kling. They're actually pretty much on the defensive side, Johnny Kling, who threw out 2 out of 3 base runners and went 1 for 4 on offense. And Frank Schulte, who threw out Eddie Collins trying to score on a sacrifice fly to preserve the 1-run advantage for the Cubs. And that was the play of the game. Schulte, and that took place in the 8th inning. Frank Schulte was also 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. So Frank Schulte and Johnny Kling, the stars of today's game. So the 1917 White Sox are eliminated in Game 12. Our game tomorrow will feature the 1906 Cubs going over to Pittsburgh, Forbes Field, to play the 09 Pirates. Both teams are 2-1. That will also be an elimination game. So far, we are down to our final 4 teams. Tomorrow's game, and the 1915 Red Sox, who are 2-0, and the 1920 Indians, who are 2-0. Thanks for watching. This is Apba Bryan saying have a good day. And today, the 1917 White Sox go home.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.